Welcome to the Sebcast, the home of the #1 network for your life. It's where we think more slowly, look more deeply, and discover that Jesus didn't just work then, but works now. There's an image that most of us don't associate with faith. Not a quiet prayer, not hands in the air, but a struggle. A real, physical, emotional, intense struggle. In Genesis 32, we read about Jacob wrestling with God through the night. And at one point he said something astonishing, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." It's almost arrogant, almost desperate, but actually it's deep faith. Because this is not a man who walks away. This is a man who holds on. And that's exactly the movement we see in Habakkuk. And maybe the best way to describe faith when things don't make sense, you wrestle and you embrace. We often think faith means calmness, certainty, stability. But much of the Bible looks different. It looks like Jacob struggling, like David complaining, like Habakkuk asking, "God, why?" Here's the secret. Real faith is not the absence of tension. It's the ability to stay in the tension without letting go of God. Habakkuk did exactly that. He said, "This doesn't make sense. I don't like this." But in the same breath he held on. "You are still good. It's not two different phases. It's one movement. Wrestle and embrace." And maybe that's where many of us get stuck. We think we must be done with the wrestling before we can trust again. Or we think we must stop asking before we can believe again. But the Bible shows us something else. You can do both simultaneously. That's why we need a network. The #1 network for your life. Because this kind of faith doesn't happen in isolation. You need people who can say with you, "I don't understand, but I'm holding on." People who don't judge you for your questions, but help you not to let go. Practically, next time you feel you're struggling with God, don't pull back. Tell Him. Even argue if you must. But end every conversation with one thing: "I'm holding on." Because faith is not always a gentle embrace. Sometimes it's a tight grip in the dark. Until next week, take care.